Welcome to the Old Soul, New Soul Astrology Podcast. Little special episode here. We wanted to tell you something that we're doing in real time here in April because we have one of the biggest conjunctions of the year. One of the biggest aspects of the year is happening on April 20th, and we're going to have a front row seat right here with Robert because we're going to do a live webinar on that day talking about the aspect. And I know you know already what we're discussing here is going to be Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus when they conjoin, this thing that we've been watching and anticipating for a year, wondering how is this going to work out. And Robert and I just thought, well, it would be great to do something about it. And then we thought, well, it would be great to do it on that day. So we're game. Robert, what do you have in mind as far as what we're going to talk about here for this?
Oh, Thomas, this is the one. This conjunction with Jupiter and Uranus only happens once every 14 years, and I have two words for you from Charles Dickens. Great expectations.
Yes, great. Jupiter's at the table, right?
Yes, sir. This is a fascinating conjunction, and you know, this special that we're doing, I am really enjoying this because we're going to go into news you can use. We're going to decipher this conjunction for all 12 signs, and everybody out there has two signs. They have a sun sign and they have a rising sign, an ascendant. So we're going to be covering both those signs. So everybody pay attention because these are very particular meanings and they're very useful meanings. I've got Capricorn rising, and above all else with astrology, if it doesn't make me healthier, wealthier, and wiser and happier, what good is it? So that's what we're doing. I can't wait.
Well, excellent. Good. And are you anticipating, I know this conjunction has a bit of a history around it. Are you anticipating positives or tension or both from this?
Both.
Both.
And you know, that's a great point that you raise. Jupiter and Uranus conjunctions can coincide with earthquakes, for example, natural disasters, for example, and some people are devastated by those. Some people are even lose their lives in them. But these are natural phenomena. It's like reshuffling the deck, if you will. But mostly, on the positive side, there was a wonderful German astrologer named Reinhold Eppertin, and he called these conjunctions the thank the Lord position because they tend to indicate a lot of tensions that have built up and built up and built up, boom, and suddenly they're released. That can be an earthquake, but the aftermath, even of a figurative earthquake in your life, the aftermath, because of this reshuffling of the deck, turns out to be the best thing that could have ever happened. And it's really true. I've had this in my own life and seen the results of this. At the time, it can be jolting, but a year later or 2 years later, you realize, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. So it's one of those aspects. It's a tremendously important aspect. And it's connected with, historically, it's fascinating. I'll be going in just a little bit, not much detail about the historic Jupiter-Uranus conjunctions, coinciding, for example, with the American Revolution. You see what I mean? So this is a huge, huge impact. And it also comes following the eclipse on April 8th. So the month of April is chock full of really important astrological.
And we have Pluto sitting there at 1 degree Aquarius, getting ready to slow down here in a couple of months to go retrograde,
Yes.
Just baking right into that transformational energy, too.
Yes, it is. And It ties in because Aquarius is, of course, ruled by Uranus. So the Pluto ingress into Aquarius is absolutely tied in, meaning-wise, tied into this conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus. Fascinating.
You can't make this stuff up, folks, right? It truly is amazing. All right, well, we're looking forward to that. The date is April 20th, and we're doing it at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be the same platform that we do Level Up on, so many of you have experienced that at least once. You'll have a private YouTube link to an unlisted channel, and you'll be able to just click right on YouTube. So it's going to be very familiar. You'll be able to interact throughout like we do on Level Up, and we'll be dancing with some of your comments and questions along the way. And that will be up on the screen. Robert will be teaching as usual, and it's just going to be a great way to spend about an hour and a half that afternoon of this big conjunction together. And the registration is right at the top of funastrology.com. Go there to register. We'll see you on April 20th.